#1 news station. This is Channel 7 Action News 5 p.m. with Frank Turner, Cheryl Choden, and Detroit's first news team.
There are no doubt thousands of people dashing about doing last-minute Christmas shopping, but the Detroit Lions got a great early gift last night. Good evening, everybody, and happy Christmas Eve to you. When the San Francisco 49ers beat the Chicago Bears last night, they wrapped up the NFC division title for Detroit, and the playoff picture is now set. The Lions get a first-round bye, which will also allow them to spend more time with their families. And as members of the team watch the game at the Silverdome, one special member of the Lions family was on everyone's mind. The season has become a tribute to Mike Utley, who was paralyzed earlier this season. During last night's nationally televised game, head coach Wayne Fontes took time out during an interview with the announcers to let the rest of the country know that Mike is on the team's mind.
I'll tell you what, if I get him time, there's a guy in Denver named Mike Utley. And Mike, I hope you're watching. This football team loves you. We're pulling for you, Mike. God bless you and thumbs up for you, Mike Utley. This is all for you, partner. Thank you.
And that sentiment is echoed by everybody around the National Football League. You very well put, Wayne.
Thank you.
And as mentioned, the playoff matchups are set. The Lions will host the winner of the Dallas-Chicago contest this weekend. The Lions game is scheduled for Sunday, January 5th at 4 p.m. There are just a few tickets left, but they are going fast. And Channel 7's Tim Fritz reports so are new Lions sweatshirts, which are literally selling as fast as they can be printed.
At EA Graphics in Sterling Heights, they didn't even wait for the Bears-49ers game to end. They powered up the presses and began printing the official sweatshirt of the NFC Central Division champions, the Detroit Lions. That's right. The old Lions are finally gone, and the new Lions have indeed restored the roar.
Well, we've put out about 6,000 pieces tonight. About 80% of them have been picked up, and if it wasn't Christmas, we'd be running for the next 4 days straight. But we'll come back at it early Thursday morning and probably run it through the weekend.
The sweatshirts were no sooner packaged than shipped off to retailers around the area. At the sports leader in Taylor, sales were nothing short of phenomenal.
At 7:30, I had probably 1,000, okay, each. And then now, as you can see, I probably have maybe 100, 150 left.
And for Lions fans, the shirts proved to be a pleasant Christmas Eve surprise.
I've been a big Lions fan for a long time, but like many other fans, I fell off the wagon when they played so bad, so long. But now I'm real happy for them. I'm glad they're playing this well.
And you're going to go ahead and buy a couple of the sweatshirts?
Definitely, today.
I came in here for baseball cards for my husband.
And you just had to pick it up for your son.
Right. He's home from school. I know he'll love it.
Of course, there are some folks in the city of Chicago who say the Lions don't really deserve this championship. They say that Buffalo rolled over and played dead on Sunday. Well, the simple fact is the Lions beat the best team in the AFC, while the Bears were blown out by a team that didn't even make the playoffs, which once again goes to show that most of what comes out of the city of Chicago is nothing but a bunch of bull. In Taylor, Tim Fritz, Channel 7 Action News, reporting.
Oh, Tim. Of course, we'll have a lot more on the Lions coming up later in sports. And in just a few moments on the Up Front segment, I'll talk with Lions receiver Mike Farr and his dad Mel, a former Lion who remains one of the team's all-time great running backs. Cheryl?
Well, last-minute shoppers are on a binge tonight, shoving their way down bargain-filled aisles. Malls have been full all day as store owners help feed the buying frenzy with markdowns. Well, Channel 7 reporter John Kleekamp now joins us from Oakland Mall with this live-action camera report. John?
Cheryl, officially this mall closed at 5 o'clock just a few moments ago, but as you can see, it's still far from empty. Lots of last-minute shoppers taking their shopping right down to the wire this year. Apparently, some of them will even leave this mall looking for another store that may still be open so they can finally get this shopping thing all wrapped up. One look at the parking lot should have convinced many consumers to stay away, but last-minute shoppers are a breed apart. Intrepid souls who've turned the 11th hour scramble for gifts into an annual event.
I do this every year. I don't know why I wait. I always wait till the 24th to do it. It's like I get these brainstorms, and it's like I go out and I just get everyone's present.
My family knows that I will not be at the house until 6 o'clock Christmas Eve because I will be at the mall.
You going to be able to get this all done in time?
I got to wrap these presents in the car on the way to Ann Arbor for the family get-together.
Meanwhile, shoppers less experienced with the Christmas Eve crunch were just hoping to get through it as quickly as possible.
I just ran in here 2 minutes ago. I knew this shirt was here, and I was coming to get it, and that's it. I came, I got it, and I'm out of here.
It is so hectic. There's people, and people. I've never been shopping like this before.
I'm getting ready to get out here now.
For others, money was a bigger concern than time, and many found that procrastination can pay off, with merchandise markdowns as much as 50%.
I'm looking for some real good bargains, you know, like things that people bought back from last year. They can bring them up from the basement. I'll take them. Money is real short.
Retailers will be tallying up today's sales, and if they're at all disappointed, we can probably expect to see even deeper discounts come December 26th. Reporting live from Oakland Mall in Troy, I'm John Kleekamp, Channel 7 Action News. Back to you, Cheryl.
Okay, John, thanks a lot. You know people will be looking for those bargains. Well, the surge in last-minute buying is ahead of last year's, but when inflation is factored in, merchants are not expecting to do much better. Frank?
This woman, year-round, is the personification of what the Christmas spirit is all about. When children needed help and nurturing, love, Barbara Ellington took them into her home and into her life. Last Friday, a fire at her foster home on Somerset Street in Detroit killed 4 youngsters. But that's not the only blow that Barbara Ellington is trying to deal with this Christmas Eve. Amid her grief, Ms. Ellington is coping with anger that her house was looted after the fire and with new financial pressures added by her inadequate insurance coverage today. But the story doesn't end there. Channel 7's Bill Proctor was the first reporter to talk with Barbara Ellington and is here now with more on her story that seems to get more and more tragic each day.
For more than a decade, she's been committed to this work, this foster care work. This is a 43-year-old mother who has taken in about 50 children as a licensed foster care giver over the past 12 years or so. Many of those youngsters were sick and in need of expensive medical care. Now she is left with the sweet memories of the last four little youngsters, and the nightmare of how they died despite all efforts to rescue them.
There was no fire. I couldn't find no fire. And I opened the door. The grill was not like closed, but I opened the door trying to get to the children, and the smoke knocked me to the floor. They went out the side door. And my babysitter and I, we tried to get to the children.
It is the first time that Barbara Ellington has publicly relived the morning of the fire in which her 4 foster children died. Andre Winfield and his 5-year-old sister, Samarco McClellan, Cornelius Brown. Inside the house this morning, an insurance adjuster surveyed the damage to furniture and contents, looking, though, beyond the evidence of the human toll, the toys, the clothing, the tree, the presents. In the hours after the fire, though, Barbara suffered the indignity of thieves, vultures who took advantage of the open doors, who stole from the house while she was being treated for frostbite.
When we went back in the house, I started looking. My safety deposit box is missing. I had $1,600 cash in the drawer. My drawers had been gone through in the bedroom. It's like vultures coming. It just don't make no sense. There's death here. You have no idea how much love was there for those children. I love my children.
As if the loss of the children, the theft of money and personal belongings wasn't enough, Mrs. Ellington has just found out that the house is underinsured. Yes, the brick exterior is still intact, but there's so much damage on the inside it will cost more to repair it than it cost to buy the house just a couple of years ago, over $30,000.
But Barbara's immediate concern is for the birth parents of the foster children.
I had one birth parent that's going to bury her children on Thursday. She didn't even, when I'd bring the children for a visit, she wasn't in the agency waiting for me. She'd be on the steps, so she'd be on the parking lot, so she could just hug them and walk them all the way back there. She was trying hard. You know, I only have so much strength. I can't take too much more.
Almost incredibly, there is someone out there using Barbara Ellington's plight to line their own pockets, claiming to be her cousin, claiming to solicit donations for her. But that's not true. There is only one fund to help Barbara Ellington's family. It is the Ellington Family Fund. It was established at the First Nationwide National Bank in Detroit at 15630 East Warren in Detroit, 48224. Mrs. Ellington was quick to thank everyone today for all their help, but prayers and support are also very much appreciated.
She certainly deserves everyone's support. What a tremendous ordeal this has been.
Really a tragedy.
Okay, thanks, Bill.
Thanks a lot, Bill. This looks like the famous final scene for Mikhail Gorbachev, the last curtain call, hail and farewell. Soviet television is on alert to go live from the Kremlin at any moment. Mikhail Gorbachev, president of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, is expected to go on nationwide TV to resign his office. The once mighty superpower he commanded, born in a Bolshevik bloodbath in 1917, will die without a whimper with Gorbachev's resignation this Christmas. Although Gorbachev single-handedly dismantled the much-feared Soviet Empire and won the Nobel Peace Prize, the people he once ruled want no more of him. Some waiting in line for a scrap of meat or a loaf of bread think he should be put on trial for ruining the economy. A former top advisor to Gorbachev understands.
For some time, people will remember under whose leadership they got into such economic mess. But then they will start to forget it, or will find other villains who did it. And I think some good things will remain about him in the memory of people.
The remnants of the Supreme Soviet, the national legislature of the dying Soviet Union, met in Moscow. The remaining members debated a resolution to officially disband and to declare the USSR has ceased to exist. But in typical fashion, they postponed the decision. Meanwhile, there is fighting in the streets again in the capital of Soviet Georgia. That republic is the only remaining part of the Soviet Union which has not joined the new Commonwealth of independent states. Rebels are trying to force Georgia's elected president out of office. The death toll in the fighting is at least 30 now. In Moscow, back in Moscow, leaders of the former Soviet republics met today to talk about economic reform. They are worried about shockwaves on January 2nd when Russia lifts price controls for the very first time. Frank?
Here at home, some good news for our economy. Lower interest rates still appear to be having a positive effect on Wall Street. The closing bell sounded early today at 2 p.m. and the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up more than 29 points at 3052.10. More than 164 million shares changed hands. The week's total is up more than 117 points. Analysts say the big cuts in interest rates last Friday revived hopes for an improved economy and have inspired investors to return to the stock market. Other stories coming up on 7's Action News at 5 p.m. A Christmas miracle for some homeless people who thought they were about to lose the shelter they rely on to keep a roof over their head. Also, General Motors today confirming it handed out millions of dollars in bonuses just days before the car maker announced thousands of workers will be laid off and several plants closed. Plus, get your VCR ready. At the end of our program, we'll have a special Christmas gift for you from all of us here at Channel 7. And on up front tonight, Mel Farr never made it to a Super Bowl, but his son Mike could be headed to the big game next month. The two join us next on 7's Action News at 5.
This old floor looks thin and dingy. This old floor looks dull and true. But with Top Job, we have ammonia. This old floor could look like new.
Older floors have cracks and crevices that trap dirt. Top Job has ammonia. Top Job penetrates deep, dissolves the trapped-in dirt that makes older floors look dull.
When I give this floor to Top Job, this old floor could look like new.
Good afternoon, I'm Rob Kress. Well, it's the night before Christmas, and all through this town, there's not a snowflake in sight, and there'll be none on the ground. The forecast is coming up.
Exploded into Operation Desert Storm.
We'll have to fight this war to the end.
In other words, Saddam, either put up or shut up.
Families cry together and pray together.
Just doing what you had to do. Ceasefire. It was the 4th of July. It was wonderful.
It looked like the plane just blew apart.
None survived.
Total devastation.
Joanne was on the ground.
Sent a shockwave through the metro area.
Sickened by what I saw.
Scared.
Oh, God!
think of the Tigers without Ernie Harwell.
Goodbye for the last time.
Wind, lightning, and thunder. Danger. 2,500 down wires reported so.
And stay alive.
The devil is on the run.
We ought to change it to Angels
This
Night.
time we did it. Bang, 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 bang.
Short minutes, their lives had changed.
McIlvaine made good on that threat.
Because he has tested positive for the AIDS virus.
I can deliver a good message to young people.
I'm going to turn this into something very positive.
Until now, nobody cares. Good news to the homeless last night.
All these ones.
Alan Steen is heading home.
Boy, I think this is really finally over.
Hockey fans, get ready for the 27th annual Great Lakes Invitational, one of college hockey's most prestigious tournaments. Coming this Friday and Saturday nights to Joe Louis Arena. It's non-stop college hockey at its best as the Wolverines of Michigan, Michigan State Spartans, Huskies of Michigan Tech, and the Crimson of Harvard University square off for the GLI title. Great seats on sale now for this holiday tradition at the box office and all Ticketmaster centers. Sponsored by the Greater Detroit Jeep and Eagle dealers, Coke, JBL, Miller, WWJ, and Pass.
Up front tonight, two generations of Detroit Lions. One of the best running backs in the team's history, and a young receiver who figures to have a hand in the Lions' future success. Mel and Mike Farr, father and son, both with us now live. Thanks, fellas, for being here.
Thank you.
And I guess congratulations are in order for both of you. I know, Mike, you've been enjoying this, but Mel, this has got to be like a belated dream come true.
Well, it's like about 20 years ago, we were playing in the playoffs, and now to have a son playing in the playoffs 20 years later, it's got to be a great Christmas present for his dad.
Mike, if you're a little hoarse today, we could understand that. I'll bet there was a lot of hooping and hollering going on last night.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We were rooting for San Francisco to beat Chicago, and I didn't think they'd beat him in that fashion, but they really took control of the game, and they beat him 52-14. And San Francisco was in the playoffs. They'd be very tough.
You know, the team has done well despite a lot of tragic situations. Mike Utley, of course, is the first that comes to mind, but you've had a lot of injuries and some adverse situations. I know Lomas Brown is always saying every time he turns around, there's another adversity to face. But that seems to have made you guys a closer-knit group. You think you're a better team because of everything you've gone through during the season?
Oh, yes, definitely. I think we're a better team because of the way we came through adversity. I think that when we first went out against Washington and they beat us 35-0, and we came back and we got together as a team and we said, hey, we're just going to have to pull through as a team. And then when Mike Utley went down and when Rodney Peete went down, other guys had to come through. They had to step up for us. And that's what the NFL is all about. I mean, the competition is so tight that the backup player is sometimes even better than the starter when they get the chance to go out there and perform.
And you've been getting a lot more playing time this season, starting a lot more. I noticed last year you had only about 12 catches for 170 yards, but you've started most of the games this season, second year out of UCLA. Do you feel like you're more in line with the team, more an integral part of the team this season?
Oh, yes, definitely. I think that my success this year was very important to me. I think that I really had the ability to go out there and perform, and I just wanted to go out there and prove to not only myself but to the fans and the people in Detroit that I could play football. I wasn't just the son of Mel Farr. You know, I was a football player. Now I can go home and brag because my dad never won the division title, and he never won 12 games.
Rub it in.
Now, just being the son of Mel, now that's not a bad title. I mean, here's a guy that pretty much set the standard for the running game for the Lions in the late 60s, early 70s. Mel, looking back, what do you think is different about this team now than in your days?
Well, I think this team really is explosive. You know, I was a good running back, but they've got a tremendous running back in Barry Sanders. You know, I mean, the guy could be probably one of the best that ever played the game, and I think that's probably the big edge. I think that they play real good team defense, and I think these guys have a lot of character to overcome all of the obstacles that they've had this year. And this is my Mike, and I just want to say thumbs up to Mike Utley, and hopefully that he'll be able to walk again.
I love the way you say you were a pretty good running back. Number 4 all-time rushing TDs, number 6 in yards gained rushing. Did the team rely, do you feel that there was as much pressure on you at that time as there seems to be on Barry these days?
Well, I was telling Mike, I think it was probably equal or a little bit more, because I remember when we lost to Dallas 20 years ago in the playoffs, we lost to them 5-0, and I was only 50% because 2 weeks before then I dislocated my shoulder. And I was telling Mike, you know, it's like the Lions going into the playoffs with Barry Sanders being 50%. It was what was a situation 20 years ago when we faced off with the Cowboys, and the Cowboys ultimately won the Super Bowl. So I say that I probably was at least similar to what Barry's role is with the Lions.
Mike, all eyes are on the future now. What do you need to do to get through the playoffs successfully?
Well, one thing we have to do, we have to stay healthy. I mean, we got a lot of guys banged up, and we have to keep coming together as a team. I think that the Detroit Lions of 1991 are the best group, the best team in the National Football League. I mean, we got guys that will just go to bat for one another. We got guys that will fight for one another, and we're so close-knit that that's why we're having the success that we're having. If we can stay together as a team and not get involved in all the hype that we're the division champions and just remember what got us to the division championship, we'll be fine.
It's really kind of an intangible thing. Does it change from week to week? Somebody always has to step up, be the performer that week, carry the team through?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, someone's going to have to step up this week because Benny Blades went down, and, you know, we don't know if he'll be back for the game. And, you know, it's just something that you have to do every week. I mean, it's a National Football League, like I said, and guys have to step up when other guys are hurt, like Herman Moore did last week. Willie Green went out for a play, then Herman Moore had to come in cold, and he caught 2 passes that were very, very important to the drive.
You got either Dallas or Chicago next. Any preference?
Well, we've beaten them both, you know, and I think that we can beat anybody in the Dome with the fan support here in Detroit. And if we can pack that Silverdome, it's going to be a big, big game for us, and I think we'll come up with the win.
Now, everybody's looking at this bye you have as kind of an advantage, but I don't know, do you get cold with a week off? Would you rather play straight through?
Well, I'm ready to play tomorrow. I'm nervous and I'm excited for the football game, but yeah, this bye week, it's going to be a long week. It's going to feel like a month to me.
Still, the excitement after so many years of finishing far from the top, this has got to be tremendous for both you and your dad. Mel, how do you feel about all this?
Well, you know, Mike has been going to the football games with me since I retired, and we've been watching the Lions football, and we've never given up on them. And it's really a pleasure to see the fans out there and the Lions performing in the way that they are. And I think that the fans are overdue. I think that they've supported this team for many, many, many years, and now I think they're getting their money's worth. So I'm really proud of Mike and the 1991 Detroit Lions, and especially the job that Wayne Fonts and Chuck Smith has done there. Chuck has been at the helm for 2 years, and he's turned that whole organization around. So I want to take my hat off to him.
All right, and the Lions are due, fans are due. We'll all go through it together. Listen, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas to everyone.
Mike and Mel Farr, Merry Christmas to you also. And we have an update on those Lions playoff tickets. There are only about 400 left. All are bleacher seats, and they're priced at a very affordable $20. They go on sale again Thursday morning at the Silverdome. If you'd like one, better get there early. Cheryl?
Christmas not only won't be white, it also won't be bone-chilling cold. Rob Kress has Detroit's most accurate forecast when 7's Action News, 5 p.m. returns.
Got something to believe in, heroes we can cheer, rooting for each other. Morning. Because our roots are here. You know there's always something we can't do on our own. But as long as we're together, we'll never stand alone. Let's stand together. I'll stand up for you and you for me. One community. I'll stand up for you and you for me.
A Christmas angel dropped in at a local shelter today, but he's only part of the Christmas miracle that's taking place here. I'm Val Clark. I'll have that story still to come on Action News.
What's a dog to do? I've been left all alone with only these to chew. They should have left me a bone. Oh, yeah.
With Perry Pairs, you always get a double choice of double prints. Should your pictures fall into the wrong hands or teeth, you always have an extra set. Choose either a pair of 4-inch jumbo prints or a pair of 3-inch prints, plus a free roll of film. Perry Drugstores, come talk to us. We're there when you need us.
You might not want to be involved in the war on drugs, but make no mistake, if you're a parent, you've been drafted. Call for a free parent's guide to drug prevention. 1-800-624-0100.
Flooding in Texas now being blamed for the deaths of 15 people and at least 2 others are missing. The state has been hit with heavy rains that are forcing hundreds of families to spend their Christmas in shelters. Damage estimates are expected to top $20 million, and President Bush is being asked to approve for federal disaster aid for several counties. No rain was in the forecast today, but people in southern Texas are bracing themselves for flooding from the Guadalupe River, which is expected to crest at 30 feet.
And
Rob
meanwhile
Kress.
here, our weather's more like poetry.
It is. It
Yeah,
is.
it
41 degrees out there in the late afternoon hours. Temperatures have been dropping, excuse me, just during the past hour, but it's not going to get real cold tonight. Excuse me. If I can talk. Yes, I have a cold, and we're going to see if we can get some roller skates on Santa. He's going to need him. No snow in the forecast. Out there in the late afternoon readings, 39 degrees at Metropolitan Airport. Winds out of the west at 16. The pressure 29.89 and rising, and the humidity checking in there at 54%. Well, you saw the flooding in Texas. Let me show you the cloud cover that's going on down there right now, just south of the Big Bend area, down around Brownsville, and coming on in off the Gulf Coast states, the Gulf of Mexico. More rain in the forecast for that area again for tomorrow and on in through Thursday, so the high water here is going to continue. A little bit of cloud cover going on down through Florida. That should fizzle out during the next couple of days, and sunshine if you're heading that way after the holidays. Look at this. Isn't that pretty right there? Things just clear right out. We have some clearing skies going on throughout the state of Michigan. As a matter of fact, all around us, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, on in through Chicago. Looks like this cloud cover will continue in an easterly direction and then back off to the west. Just a little strip coming down through Duluth, Minnesota. So if you're going to be on the roads tonight or getting up early tomorrow on your way to grandmother's house for Christmas, really should have no problem traveling or no problem with the roads as far as icy conditions. Here we go with Wednesday, Christmas itself. Snow in the forecast for Ontario, northward on in through the New England states, and that's basically just lake effect snow that's going to happen in upstate New York. This is a wave of kind of cooler air that's coming this way. It turns warm and pushes back through Minnesota. Looks like during the afternoon hours. High pressure center north of the Sioux will bring sunshine to the Detroit area in here for Christmas Day on Wednesday. Then for tomorrow night, the whole thing completely changes. A wave of warmer air stretches right back down across Chicago. We have snow going on to the north of us, mild temperatures moving back in here. We should have clear skies on Wednesday night, and then this cloud cover, as I mentioned, along with some rain, sliding back in through Oklahoma and on in through Texas. For Thursday, about the same thing. Warm air pushes well by the Detroit area. Here's another little trough coming down through. High pressure center setting right over Memphis will give us some sunshine and keep all of the snow and the cloud cover to the north of us on Thursday. It looks like it's going to turn out to be a very pleasant day. And again, more rain from Kansas City southward all the way on down in through Texas and on into the Gulf of Mexico. Around the state, we have a little bit of snow going on in the UP and northern sections of lower Michigan, but look at Traverse City, for example. 36 degrees up there with some light snow, so it is melting the minute that it hits. For Wednesday, around the country, as far as precipitation is concerned, showers out west, snow to the north of us, showers down through New Mexico, western sections of Texas, and down through Houston and Brownsville. And then on Thursday, heading toward the end of the week, showers again out west, more rain for Texas, and some snow, but well to the north of us on Thursday. Now, here's our forecast for the Detroit area in greater detail. For tonight, clear skies, cold temperatures, the lows ranging from 23 to 25 degrees, southwesterly winds in here at about 10 to 20 miles an hour. For tomorrow, Christmas, some sunshine, mild, the high 35 to 37 degrees, southwesterly winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour. And for Thursday, again, sunshine and warmer with a high temperature right around 40 degrees on Thursday. Thursday. If you're looking for snow for Christmas or for the holidays, head north.
You know, really,
north.
when you don't have snow, though, one of the bright spots is you don't have wet, slippery roads. And we've had that so often on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it's going to no problem traveling.
Cheryl finds the silver lining in every
Yes,
cloud.
good for you.
Right.
All right. Well, Dennis Rodman knows all about the pain of being homeless and from firsthand experience. So today, the Piston star is doing what he can to brighten up Christmas for some people who are down on their luck. That's just one of our stories when 7's Action News 5 p.m. continues. Stay with us.
Barbara Mandrell is going home for the holidays, and we're going with her. On the next Entertainment Tonight, spend Christmas Eve with some of your favorite country music stars.
It just feels so wonderful to give a gift.
Trim the tree with Waylon Jennings. Sit fireside with Ricky Van Shelton. And Conway Twitty will take you on a holiday tour of Twitty City.
There's something like over 500,000 lights out here.
It's a special country Christmas only on Entertainment Tonight.
Viewers from all over southeastern Michigan have joined the Channel 7 Action News team. You can too. If you shoot video of a breaking news story, call us at 827-3677, 827-3677.
Whenever weather is very important in this area, people do tune to us. We can go on the air within a moment's notice.
If it's life-threatening, believe me, it's going on first.
We start running. When severe weather breaks, we start running.
You cannot make a mistake.
You have to be certain. You cannot go on the air with an unsubstantiated report.
We're totally committed, reliable, advanced.
When weather happens in Detroit, people turn to Channel 7.
Thunderstorms that are moving across the...
Randy Travis on strings. Branford Marsalis on the horn. Paul Schaefer on keys. Carly Simon on lead. There are a lot of different parts to play in the American Red Cross. Play your part.
A Christmas Eve reprieve for the only shelter in Oakland County that's open to all homeless families. The Baldwin shelter in Pontiac was threatened with closing because it was out of money. But some anonymous donors rescued it, and now a high-profile celebrity is pledging to offer both his time and his cash to help the shelter and its families. Channel 7's Val Clark has the story.
He never actually lived on the street, but because he once was, quote, without a home, Piston forward Dennis Rodman came to the Baldwin Avenue Center for Human Services today, bearing fruit and gifts for homeless families. But as special as this visit from a 6'8" Christmas angel is, it is only part of the Christmas miracle taking place at this shelter. As Channel 7 News first reported last week, the shelter was set to close on December 30th because it was out of money. But now a group of anonymous benefactors have pledged $100,000, and the Department of Social Services another $100,000. And that covers just about 2/3 of what it will take to keep the shelter open for another year. The manager says it's just the miracle she's been praying for.
When I received the news from Dr. Myers, we just jumped to our feet and praised the Lord because it truly was a miracle.
Without the reprieve, this mother and her boys would have had to be turned away.
A lot of people are depending on them. A lot of families are. A lot of women with children. And should they close, I mean, there's not many resources in Pontiac like this. I think this is one of the only ones. So it makes a difference for it being open.
Dennis Rodman had heard about the possible closing and donated $500, but he hadn't heard the good news until today.
All right, that's great, Joe. These people need this. You just can't throw people out in the streets when you have something like this that's beneficial for them. It eats me up to see people, don't have some of the things that I have, or some of the things that some people have. They feel like that they're left out, they're loners, and no one wants to help them, and no one wants to see their problem, no one wants to get in and really, do something about it.
Because he wants to continue doing something about it, Dennis will donate $500 every time he grabs 15 or more rebounds per game this basketball season. From Pontiac, I'm Val Clark, Channel 7 Action News, reporting.
Just days before General Motors announced it would close 21 plants and cut 74,000 jobs, the company paid out $80 million in bonuses to white-collar workers. The money came in the form of performance bonuses for non-executive employees, including engineers, supervisors, and some clerical workers. The payments were approved shortly before GM Chairman Robert Stempel announced sweeping job cuts at the company, a story that made headlines last week. Stempel did not mention the performance bonuses, but he did say a $600 Christmas bonus for all salaried employees was being eliminated. Well, the Michigan State Fair operated way over budget for the past 4 years. Each year since 1987, the fair has spent over $1 million more than was budgeted. A recent audit shows that the fair owes the rest of the state government more than $4.7 million. The debt is incurring interest with no schedule for repayment. The chronic deficit and low attendance figures put the future of the fair in jeopardy. Frank?
The holidays are, of course, supposed to be a happy time of year, one celebrated with family and friends. But 'tis also the season for stress, for last-minute shopping, house cleaning, and probably a long visit from your least favorite relative. For many, all the brightly decked red and green halls will only lead to a case of the holiday blues. But this year can be different. Channel 7's Dr. Dean Adele has tips on how to beat the blues and to make sure you have a Merry Christmas.
So a Merry Christmas to you anyway, Uncle.
Good evening.
And a Happy New Year.
Good evening. Humbug!
Invariably, when this time of year rolls around, many of us feel more like Scrooge than jolly old Kris Kringle. The pressure to feel up and full of holiday cheer is enormous. In fact, researchers say it's the expectation that the holidays should be picture perfect that often sends us tumbling into the depths of depression. Let's face it, for most people, the holidays are not the picture-perfect world of a Norman Rockwell painting, you know, where the whole family is sitting together around the warm, cozy fireplace, being all lovey-dovey. I mean, who really lives like this? Now, I'm not saying that this can't be a special time of the year for friends and families. I am saying, though, that expecting it's going to be extra special can be setting yourself up for a big and unnecessary letdown. Well, experts at the University of Oklahoma say there are a few things you can do to help the holidays become a happier and more peaceful time. Holidays are a busy time, but don't get down on yourself if you don't get everything taken care of. Try not to make more commitments than you can handle. When shopping for gifts, stay within your budget so that shopping doesn't become another source of stress. Remember to put yourself near the top of your to-do list and make time to exercise, eat well, and do relaxing things. Try to have realistic expectations of family and friends, and take a little time to reflect on what the holidays are all about. Get in touch with your spiritual side, the loving concern you have for yourself and others. I'm Dr. Dean Adele.
A symbol of hope is lighting the way for people in Oakland and Beverly Hills, California today. A 35-foot Christmas tree was placed in the scorched wasteland where hundreds of homes were destroyed by fire this fall. The lighting ceremony reunited neighbors who were separated and left homeless by the devastating blaze. The mayors from Berkeley and Oakland Hills flipped the switch to turn on the lights, which can be seen for miles and miles. Frank?
Meanwhile, a serial killer is stalking women in California, and tonight it appears he has claimed his 19th victim. We'll have that story and a lot more when 7's Action News at 5 returns.
I was putting in a lot of late hours at the office. The pressure was really getting to me. My doctor told me if I didn't get some exercise, I'd be a prime candidate for a heart attack. Nordic Track. Nordic Track was just what I needed to work off stress. And my doctor says my blood pressure is lower, too.
I had a terrible time losing weight after my second baby, and dieting wasn't enough. I needed a way to burn more calories.
Nordic Track.
With Nordic Track, I was able to increase my metabolism and burn calories faster. I lost weight, and I still ate regular meals.
I really wanted to enjoy this time of my life. I didn't have the energy.
Nordic Track.
Now I feel great. Better than I have in years. Thanks, Nordic Track.
Millions of people have already discovered how to achieve their personal fitness goals and improve the quality of their lives with Nordic Track. Nordic Track is the easy way for you to get in shape and feel your best. Nordic Track simulates cross-country skiing, the world's best aerobic exercise. So it's a great way to get in shape, manage stress, and help control weight. Unlike ordinary exercisers like bikes, treadmills, and stair climbers, which only work your lower body,
Nordic Track provides a total body workout. It tones, develops, and conditions all the major muscles of your upper and lower body. And Nordic Track's patented flywheel design creates a smooth, non-jarring motion no other ski machine can match. With Nordic Track, your workout experience is so involving and so rewarding that Nordic Track is the workout you'll stay with. Independent research shows that even after 5 years, 7 out of 10 Nordic Track users are still using their machines 3 times a week. That's a track record that just can't be equaled by ordinary exercise equipment. Try Nordic Track in the convenience of your own home for 30 days. Call 1-800-645-0400. Nordic Track is affordable. Choose the model that's priced right for you. Call now.
The holiday cheer in one California neighborhood has been replaced by fear. It appears a serial killer has struck again in the community of Riverside. The body of a woman believed to be the 19th victim was found last night about a half-mile from the Riverside police station. Workers discovered her body in an orange grove. The serial killer has been preying on female prostitutes and drug users since 1986. Police will not release the identity of this latest victim, but will admit she appears to fit the profile of other victims.
One of the officers believes he recognizes her as a local prostitute. We're going under that on that premise. We have discovered nothing to this point that discounts the possibility of her being the 19th victim. So we are strongly leaning toward that possibility.
The killing started back in October of 1986, and the last confirmed victim, number 18, was found less than 2 months ago on October 30th. The Riverside County Sheriff's Department is offering an $11,000 reward for the arrest and conviction of the killer. Frank?
For the second time in 2 days, a freight train derailed in Washington state today. The early morning accident sent a rail car over a bridge and onto Interstate 90 below. Another rail car, a refrigerated carrier, was left hanging from the bridge with one end touching the shoulder of the freeway. 2 other cars landed near the road. A bus and a passenger car were damaged by the debris, but there were no injuries. Several lanes of the freeway will have to be closed for days. And yesterday's accident across the state near Everett were on the Burlington Northern Line, along with that one today. Well, we have a full hour of Action News coming up at 6 o'clock. For that, I'll be joined by my colleague Mike Hofelt, who's in the Action Newsroom with a preview of what's coming up. Hello, Michael.
Hi, Frank. Hi, everyone. A lot of stories coming up on 6 o'clock Action News. First, a little politics. A state senator is calling for an investigation into Wayne County tonight. Find out why Senator John Kelly is up in arms and is demanding answers. These stories also making news tonight. Your vitamins may not be nearly as effective as you think. We'll show you a simple at-home test to find out just how good your vitamins are. And, of course, the big day. The big day is almost here. But are you too stressed out to enjoy it? Find out the real reason for your holiday stress and how to cure it for good. Those stories, much more, coming your way at 6. Back to you, Frank.
All right. Thanks a lot, Mike.
Well, you could call it Chuck Barris's law of TV. People love to humiliate themselves in front of a nationwide audience. Barris proved that with the goofy program. You remember it was called The Gong Show. But now the Brazilians have gone him one better. They have a show called They'll Do Anything for Money, in which people prove, well, that they will do anything for money. One contestant allowed the host to crush a raw egg on her head for $40. You don't like that show? Well, change the channel in Brazil, and you might find a quiz program that rewards wrong answers with a pie in the face. That series is called Get It Right or Get Splattered. I don't know.
This Christmas will be the first one former American hostages will spend at home in years, and they're no doubt looking forward to this holiday. The longest-held hostage, Terry Anderson, has plans to spend the day in New York with his immediate family and says it will probably be the best Christmas he has ever had. Thomas Sutherland says he will enjoy the holiday at home in Colorado with his loved ones. And today, former hostage Joseph Sicipio talked about his Christmases in captivity and how he always kept his thoughts on those at home.
A candle, and then after that candle went out, then Christmas Eve was over, Christmas was over, and my heart and my thoughts were always with what was happening back at home, trying to then visualize what everyone was doing.
Alan and Virginia Steen, who live in Clark Lake, Michigan, near Jackson, plan to celebrate the holiday by spending a quiet day with relatives.
Well, the Detroit Lions are proud to call themselves champs today, but they won't be satisfied until they're wearing Super Bowl rings. Jay Berry with all the latest sports when 7's Action News 5 p.m. returns.
How does she feed herself, her husband, her 4 children, and a dog for less than $25 a week? Next, Donahue, meet America's thriftiest couple. Thousands write in for the cost-cutting secret that have allowed them to buy cars, computers, and this fabulous farmhouse on less than $30,000 a year. Now you can learn their bargain hunting tips for free just by tuning in to the next Donahue.
That's Donahue, following Kelly and Company, weekday mornings at 10 on 7.
This woman gave birth in the lobby of a bank.
I felt this big gush. The baby just came out. He was in my pants leg.
The other teller's saying, take her pants off. And I said, I'm not taking her pants off. Smacked him and he started crying and everybody in the bank was cheering. Incredible stories of life on the next Oprah Winfrey Show.
Oprah, weekdays at 4 on 7.
In this country, from the beginning, good bread has always been appreciated. Flour from a nearby mill and other wholesome ingredients were carefully worked by hand and baked to perfection on the old country hearth. The tradition remains. We're baking country hearth bread with all the aroma and taste of times gone by. A bread that helps deliver your family's nutritional needs. A little bit of heritage in every loaf. Lots of enjoyment in every slice. Country hearth.
Okay, White Cloud, a little off the top?
Yeah, but go easy. Gotta keep it thick.
I'll say. You know, a lot of guys would kill for this.
So would a lot of other bathroom tissues. They're just not as thick as White Cloud.
Oh, puttery.
Well, most bathroom tissues are as skimpy as this.
Don't remind me.
And some bathroom tissues are even flimsier.
Oh, bad memories.
Ever tried the real thin stuff?
Oh!
Now you can see why I make it thick.
White Cloud. Only clouds make it softer and thicker.
Meet Kevin Jones, age 7. If he doesn't start reading now, he may never get off this step. Get him booked. Gail Robbins, age 13. Without reading, how will she ever become a Hollywood star? Get her booked. Reading is fundamental to getting kids from where they are to a better place in life. That's why there's RIF, the national organization that's getting kids to read right now. Get them booked now for the future. Learn more about Reading is Fundamental.
Jay comes in today with a big smile on his face. You heard Mike Farr on the up front. He says, man, he's itching. He's ready to go. He's ready to get out there.
Well, I think that's indicative of all the players and the fans because they've been waiting so long. And incidentally, the game will be Sunday, January 5th at the Silverdome, 4 o'clock. New Orleans, Dallas, or Chicago. It really doesn't matter. Good evening, everybody. They may be the limping Lions, but they have an extra week off and the Central Division Championship to help soothe those aches. San Francisco's 52-14 shellacking of the Bears last night clinched it for the Lions, making an already incredible year all the more sweeter. The Niners only needed to tie Chicago to hand the Lions the title, but this was San Francisco's equivalent to a playoff game, and there was no let-up.
Goodbye. And Griffin has an escort.
Convoy. You got them all.
Inside the 30, Don Griffin's going to go all the way.
Light up another cigar, Wayne. That's a great thing about being a head coach. You can make somebody else light your cigar.
Thank you, Detroit. Well, all right, Wayne.
This year's been mixed with a lot of joy and a lot of sadness. With all the tragedy and adversities that have set in, but the way that we've performed under the conditions that we performed says a lot for the character of this team and the coaching staff.
I'm very happy. I kind of jumped up and down like a little kid, but it's something that this whole program, we've been down so long here, and I hope the people that saw it didn't think we're too silly. I'm just excited for our team at this time. All the injuries we've gone through, if the team played this well, I am very pleased, and I'm excited about it, and I may be different than the other head coaches. I'm like a little kid right now. It's been a great year for us, and let's see if we go a little further.
Well, I think he said it all. And give out those hugs if you want to, Wayne. You're on top. Sam Wyche's successful and sometimes turbulent career as the Cincinnati Bengals head coach ended today when he resigned. At least that's what the team says. Wyche says he was fired. At any rate, he had a 61-66 record since taking over in 1984. He guided the Bengals to the playoffs twice and captured the AFC Championship in 87-88. But this season, the Bengals slumped to a 3-13 record. Well, the Pistons and the rest of the NBA, for that matter, will enjoy the night off. A home-and-home matchup starts in Orlando Thursday and then moves to the Palace on Friday. Isaiah is back, although he says he is far from being 100%. Action from last night, New York against Minnesota, a game Gerald Wilkins won't soon forget. A 65-footer to beat the clock. New York wins the game 97-91. A second look, and what do you know? He does it again. That guy is good. While Lions fans celebrate an outstanding season, Wings fans are hoping down the road they're going to do the same. The team is the surprise of the National Hockey League and definitely working toward that Stanley Cup.
We knew we had a good team here, even when we were losing at the beginning. People were asking what's the matter with the Detroit Red Wings, and everybody just said, you know, it's going to take time. We got some young players. We know we got a good team here, and we know we can finish in the tops of the division. So, you know, we're going to just keep working hard all year and hopefully finish first.
We've made some changes again from last year. We've added Nicholas and Vladi on defense, and they've certainly helped our defense a lot moving the puck. And we've added Ray Shepard and Al Curd, to name a couple names, and they've all come in, filled a role, and played well for us. And we had players of that caliber and that consistent play from those people. It's going to help your hockey team immensely.
And for that, the Wings are thankful and are in the best of moods this holiday season.
Well, I'd like to wish all the Detroit Red Wing fans a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
All right, the Sacramento Kings get the jump on Coach Dick Motta. One day after he said he would retire at the end of the season, they fire him. But it's good news here in Detroit. I tell you, being here for so long and watching these guys finally get one, it's really remarkable. 12-4.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Even if it ends there.
Yeah.
But now Dallas is coming along.
Dallas
Chicago's going to have a score to settle, and New Orleans has been tough.
They're going to be at the Dome, baby, undefeated.
And we know what happens under the Dome. Huh?
You go under.
Yeah, great. We're all so happy about that.
That'll do it.
Well, thanks, Jay. Get your videotape recorder ready. We'll have a special holiday video album for you that's worth saving for a lifetime when 7's Action News 5 p.m. returns.
Exploded into Operation Desert
We'll have to fight this war to the end.
In other words, Saddam, either put up or shut up.
Families cry together and pray together.
Just doing what you had to do.
Ceasefire.
It was the 4th of July.
Peace, wonderful.
It looked like the plane just blew apart.
None survived.
Total devastation.
Joanne was on the ground.
Sent a shockwave through the metro area.
Sickened by what I saw.
Scared.
Think of the Tigers without Ernie Harwell.
Goodbye for the last time.
Wind, lightning, and thunder.
Danger. 2,500 down wires reported so.
And stay alive.
The devil is on the run.
We ought to change it to Angels Night.
This time we did it.
Bang, 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 bang.
Short minutes, their lives had
Tom
changed.
McIlvaine made good on that threat.
Because he has tested positive for the AIDS virus.
I can deliver a good message to young people.
I want to turn this into something very positive.
Until now, nobody cared. Good news to the homeless last night.
all these wonderful people.
Allenstein is heading home.
Boys really think this is really finally over.
The magnificently restored Gem Theater celebrates its grand opening with that sassy, classy musical celebration of the 30s and 40s, the All-Night Strut. It whirls up enough energy to power a town. Seattle Times, American musical theater at its best. Toronto Sun, it's sensational. The Boston Globe. Tickets on sale across the street at the Fox box office, Joe Louis Arena, all Ticketmaster outlets, or charge by phone. The All-Night Strut at the Gem.
When I open up the mail and somebody says, "You told my story," it's sort of like the golfer that gets the hole-in-one. We've done stories on disorders that people didn't recognize they had until they heard the symptoms. And they went to their doctor and found out there was something seriously wrong with them. They wouldn't have known that if they hadn't been watching that night. That's very compelling. So it's when we've touched somebody that makes it all worthwhile. I mean, that's what I'm here for. It's what I do.
We wrap up tonight with the gift of a Christmas classic. It's a story that's as much a part of the holiday tradition as a beautiful tree beaming with lights or a present all tied up with bows. It's a story that glows with the joyful anticipation of this special night, Christmas Eve. Please consider this a holiday gift from the Channel 7 family to your family. And if you're taping our holiday video album, please start your tape machine right now.
'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas would soon be there. The children were all nestled, all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eye should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his courses they came, and he whistled, and he shouted, and he called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen. On Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop, the courses they flew, with the sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas, too. And then, in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney, St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled. His dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses. His nose, like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was white as snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump and a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk and laying his finger aside of his nose, giving a little nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
A nice addition to our video album. Don't be alarmed if you hear a little noise in the chimney tonight. It's just Billy Claus making his appointed rounds.
Right. Merry Christmas, Frank.
Merry Christmas.
Have a good holiday.
To you.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Have a wonderful, safe holiday.
We'll see you in just a moment, 6.
Channel 7's Action News continues with Hofeld, Turner, Barry, Mattis, and Detroit's #1 news team.
1 week to deal now through January 3rd for 7 days only at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer. Every car must go. Voyager, Sundance, New Yorker, Fifth Avenue, and more. All pre-marked to move. Get up to $2,000 back or 0% financing. Plus, factory-to-dealer incentives could save you even more. Out-of-town buyers will be on hand to ensure top dollar for your trade and get on-the-spot financing. So hurry in now. Your 1 week to deal ends January 3rd. See your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer today.
Rooting for each other, because our roots are here. You know there's always something we can't do on our own, but as long as we're together, we'll never stand alone. Let's stand together.
different parts to play in the American Red Cross. Play your part.
Families forgive and forget on Christmas. Next, Sally Jesse. From Michigan's #1 news station, this is Channel 7 6 o'clock Action News with Mike Hofeld, Frank Turner, and Detroit's First News Team.